You're a
We
TV
are
personality.
recording, right? We're recording now. This is Matthew Sims speaking with Billy Al Bengston, and I hope a bit Wendy Al Bengston too, if she's in there.
Just Wendy Al.
Okay, just Wendy Al then. And you're in your home and studio in Venice, California. Today's July 29th, 2020, and this is for the Smithsonian Archives of American Art. And we're just calling to check in with you, Billy Al, see how you're doing and what you've been up to in this whole lockdown. Have you been locked down or have you been defying
How the hell do I know? I don't go outside.
You don't go
Except
outside?
when I go outside, I get on my bike every morning. And I come back every day.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Wendy controls the rest of the day. I don't care what I do. She just tells me.
Okay.
Sit
Well,
down, Wendy.
you've got a lot of work on the wall behind you, and you were telling me a little bit about how you're kind of keeping busy during the COVID period, is framing these pieces that date back to, they look like they're from the 1980s possibly. When were those made?
I don't have any signatures on them, so I can't tell you.
Yeah, 1982 to 84.
There we go. All right.
Wendy knows this stuff.
And so can you maybe, I don't know, you want to talk to me a little bit about those and how you made them?
You know, I just do that when I can't think of anything else to do.
Okay.
And I'm done.
Okay.
I can't think of doing these anymore because I've shot my wad, as the saying goes.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't do this kind of work now, but you're painting again. You're painting now, aren't you?
I'm not doing a damn thing now.
You're
I
not?
wish I was, but the studio's sitting over there. And I don't have any paint on my hands or on my clothes, so I'm not doing anything.
Well, I think we all wish that you were painting. I'd love to see some work.
Well,
every time I've come, there's been new work up on the walls.
Yeah. I'm not driven right now.
Well,
And it's a spurt thing.
okay. Well,
Usually when somebody buys something, it encourages me.
yeah, and has that been happening lately?
No,
No.
I'm not encouraged. Has I sold anything lately?
Yeah.
Wendy knows this. It goes through her.
Okay.
And he has been painting. I mean, not
I have
the usual spurt of puppies coming out, but yeah.
I've been breeding, but I haven't been foaling.
Okay. But the watercolors, Wendy Al, you were working, I think, with Billy Al on the watercolors and you said a book came out recently.
Yeah, there is a book, and Billy we brought it out like.
Wow, look at that.
It's a big sumbitch.
Yeah, that's a book I'd like to have. I have to find that, track it down.
Yeah, you know, hate to say it, but Amazon.
Yeah, that's where we find stuff.
He was going to have a book launch and a watercolor show here in town in Hollywood, but you know, COVID came.
Yeah.
So
Well, those watercolors, they go all the way back to the 50s, right?
I forget when I started doing watercolors, but I know when I started, I did it just to be stupid. Nobody would do watercolors. That was the girls' medium. And if I'm not girlish, then to hell with it.
Right. Right. You know Marvin Silver,
Of course.
photographer. He has a beautiful early watercolor of yours in his home that you gave to him, I think, in 1958, 59,
Yeah.
60. And it's with a heart. It's a great example. And then this work behind you is, 1980. So did you
I don't
use
know what it is.
yeah.
It's all over the
Yeah, I
place.
have to go assist them right now, so
and
I
did
just,
okay, thanks a lot.
you get tired of the same old format, so I start cutting them.
Yeah, I like that.
These are various hairstyles that used to be around.
Now, are these made in Hawaii or are they made
That's
in?
yours.
Yes. Yeah, right there, I got it.
No, I do these here. I
Okay,
do them any goddamn place I feel like it.
but you did do quite a few watercolors in Hawaii, it strikes
I
me.
usually do watercolors in Hawaii
Why, what's the connection there?
because I don't have to carry a lot of material with me.
All right,
And it's easy to clean up, easier to clean up.
yeah,
And I have a studio there that's very, very adequate. And then I can bring them back. You can't carry big paintings back under your arm in the plane.
right, right. That would be a little complicated.
It's just all pragmatic.
Yeah. I mean, one could think that maybe the atmospheric, watery qualities, that's what an art historian would say, right? They'd start to read into it and say, oh, Billy Al was doing watercolors in Hawaii because of the atmosphere and the humidity and the,
No, it's because it was practical. I'm a Kansas boy. We do things that are practical.
that's
You don't
right.
slaughter a hog in your living room.
Yeah. Well, you know, that word rustic, you used that the last time I was at your studio and you told me
Yeah.
that you were a rustic. What do you mean by that?
You expect me to know what I'm talking about?
Well, a rustic, you know, does that mean somebody who deliberately is not, you know, skilled in the traditional sense, not an academic?
No, I'm not an academic. This is a visual business, not a word business.
Yeah.
And I school myself in the vision.
Mm.
And it really doesn't transcribe into words.
Right.
I mean, I can tell you a lot about my wife, but all you have to do is look at her and then you go, oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
And I get to touch her, and that's the best part.
I mean, words can't convey any of that, can they?
No, they don't put her over the line.
And this whole video thing is so strange too. You know, we're supposed to have a conversation and we're both looking at little screens, and then the internet's coming in and out. I mean, it's
Really?
a strange time we're living through.
Well, how old are you?
52.
Oh, you're in the era. I didn't have a television set until I was 52.
Okay, well, that tells you
And
something.
how old am I now, Wendy?
86.
86. So I've had one for a long time.
Yeah. You got plenty more left in you.
Huh?
All this work that you're doing, all this stuff behind you.
You know, it's day by day, steady by jerks, as they say.
And you know, I remember you quoted Ken Price to me. Kenny Price was obviously someone you were very close
Ken
to.
Price is the best artist in the world.
Yeah, you think? The
Well, I
best?
think he's one of the absolute best living, for sure. I sure as fuck hope he's living.
Okay. Well, and he said, the only thing you have to do to outrage people is
anything. What do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you be any more brilliant than that?
No, you can't. But is that still true?
You just do anything and people go, what did you do that for?
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's,
you know,
no, Ken's the man you want to talk to when it comes to words. He's really great.
well, he
And on top of that, he's very, very good as an artist and undoubtedly fantastic as a ceramicist and a sculptor. But, and he's a pretty good surfer. We surfed together. That's where we, you know, when you're stuck with somebody for hours on end in the water, you got to make up shit all the time.
right.
And you got to be entertaining or you be booed out of the water.
Yeah.
Or you don't get any waves. That's how it goes. No, you can't have that.
Right. And in those days, it wasn't crowded out there.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, was it? You tell me.
Well, if it was 6 foot hot and glassy, it was crowded.
Okay.
At Malibu, there'd probably be 200 people out. And Ken and I and Tube Steak got 90% of the waves.
How'd you do that? You just,
Well, if Matt
Composed
Kipling
yourself.
came out, then we didn't get any because Matt got them all.
okay.
Because he was Malibu Matt, you know?
Right, right.
And the voodoo was wonderful in those times. And we talked about the great kahuna and all that crap. And it was fun. And we didn't have wetsuits, so we froze our asses off too.
Right.
So you didn't go out for 3 hours without coming in blue.
Oh, jeez. And then you ate a candy bar, right? That was lunch.
As much as you could.
Yeah.
1 or 2 or 3.
Okay. What about Mulsoon?
Kenny ate Snickers and I ate Old Nick's. I ate Old Nick's.
When I came to your house one time, you had a beautiful John Altoon painting on the wall. You still have that, I hope?
You bet.
And you lent it to the show that was at the LA County Museum, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also part of, I mean, was he out in the waves with you or was he more?
No, John is an artist. Was an artist.
Right.
He lived and breathed. He was just what everybody thought of as an artist. He looked like an artist. He acted like an artist. He was an artist. And he was what the old-fashioned terms of artists were. He could draw. He could, you know, he'd sit down and make portraits of you.
Yeah.
And they'd be fantastic. And then he always had his dog Man, which was a bitch. And Man would always be coming up and jumping on him. John Altoon was the classic artist.
Yeah.
He looked like an artist. He acted like an artist. He was an artist. And I sure as hell miss him because I could waste a lot of time with John.
Yes.
He'd come walking up. I'm on the second floor. And he'd live over on a couple blocks away, and he'd walk over, and he'd be whistling and singing like he always did. He'd be about a block away, and he'd go, Albert, and I'd hear him coming. So I could let him in. Albert, he called me. Because for a while I signed my paintings B. Albert.
B. Albert, okay.
Just to screw things up.
Yeah.
It used to be fun, you know. Nobody sold anything, so it was all fun. It didn't make a damn bit of difference what you did.
Yeah.
You just had to have a good time.
And any other key people? Who else at that time? I know you became friends with Frank Gehry, but he was a bit later.
Yeah, Frank came in a little later. Frank, you know, is a serious person. He's an architect, and he has to build things, and they can't fall down on you, you know, or
Right.
you get in trouble. But Frank, what do you call him? He wasn't a maven, but he was a little bit like it.
Yeah.
And he's still my dear friend. We still see each other quite a bit. And
Well, you did the show.
people still buy his things too, strange as it seems.
They do. They like that.
Yeah. You ever been to those places? Can't live in those goddamn places.
No. Yeah. No.
He
but-
liked it when he came here because he says, how'd you do this? And I says, I just did it yesterday. He says, how'd you do it? And I says, it's just drywall and studs. It's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when he started getting really wacky, is when he started listening to me.
Because you made a lot of changes to the place you are now, 110 Mildred. You did a lot of operations.
Yeah, I change it daily.
Mm.
This room has been constant for almost 3 months, and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
It won't be constant forever.
Okay.
And my wife is the person who knows how to do this stuff. She came out of the decorating world.
Mm. Mm.
And it wasn't decorating. Is that a negative context to it, Wendy? But she knows everything about these things.
Right.
And I'm really lucky. I lucked into it.
Yeah.
I stepped into it and it didn't smell bad.
Mm. But you've had a lot of different people living in that building at different times, having studios.
Let's see, who was here? Ken was downstairs. Oh, the strange one was Craig Kaufman for a while.
Was he down there? Okay.
Oh, yeah. And he's the only person I knew that was born anal. And
Was he? Okay.
he's a total neatnik.
Mm.
So I'd come over, sharpen my pencils, and let the stuff land on the floor and things like that. He'd sweep up after me. He's fantastic. I miss him a lot.
Yeah.
And he was a soprano.
He was.
Yes.
He had that high voice. Yeah.
And
But I've been told he was very funny. He had a
he
great
was very
sense of humor.
funny and easily, when I was a young man, the most creative artist on the scene, bar none.
Mm. Mm.
I mean, his early paintings are just thriller through Manila.
Wow.
And nobody else had the focus that he had.
Yeah.
Altoon had it, but Altoon did it at machine gun speed. Craig was methodical. He'd put down one line and be there for a week, and then the next week would be 3 lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did a lot of this looking at it, pulling his nose.
Mm.
I figured if you did it, you didn't have to look at it.
Once you're done, someone else
Get
will.
it out of here.
But, at the same time, you had pretty high standards for things like materials, durability, I remember.
Oh yeah, I'm an absolute fanatic on structure.
Yeah.
It's just almost disgusting how fanatical I am. If it isn't built right, it won't work.
Right.
So I build them so they last long enough that maybe somebody will get it.
Yeah. And you told me, I think about you talking about the lighting. You're an interesting case, and you did not get into this whole thing about the preciousness of lighting. Your attitude towards lighting is completely, so you were not at all related to these whole light and space kind of things, which were all
Not
about.
a chance.
Yeah.
I figure you buy a painting here and put it wherever you want to put it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want them to buy the painting and put it anywhere they want to put it, just as long as they buy it.
Yeah. So not have all these expectations about, well, the light's got to be here and there, and
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I oftentimes paint with the lights on, sometimes with the lights off, and bad light, good light, and sometimes I use precise light if I have to fix something, but most of the time it's just catch as catch can. If I don't know what I'm doing, I don't do it.
It's got to adapt. It's got to be able to fit in wherever.
As my brother used to say, you play ball with me and I'll shove the bat up your ass.
Okay. That's one way. Yeah. Has anybody ever tracked down that wax version of you that was in that show in 1968? Remember that wax?
I don't know where it went.
Where is that thing? I mean,
I have no idea. I didn't know that.
We have the head.
We do?
Yeah.
You do.
Where is it, in the box?
Yeah, it's in a box.
That should be out. Shouldn't that be out?
No, it's just wax until it's melted away.
After that show that Frank did, he got the whole figure
Uh-huh.
and it was at his house, and he then had it restored much later, decades later, and then there was that big earthquake in the 90s, and
My
just
head fell off.
after he had it restored, the head fell off during the earthquake.
I can't think of another artist that had a wax version of him or herself out there in the world.
No, it was a sort of kinky thing to do. I forget how it happened. I was doing something for the movies, and what's his name? Spoon Singer, or something like that.
Spoony Sing.
Spoony Sing. And where is it? God, she knows more than I do. That's why you get married.
Yeah. Two brains better than one.
Especially if you get a good one.
Yes. And you, in your case, got two heads. There's one in a
Two
pot.
heads instead of one. And
Has she gone
if
to
I had
get
two personalities, I'd be happy instead of 200.
Well,
All of which don't go together.
I mean,
Are you a surfer?
I'm not a surfer. I should be. I live right by the ocean, but I'm not. No.
Why
I live in
not?
Long Beach, you know.
What's the matter with that?
The last time I told you I lived in Long Beach, you looked at me and you said, "Why do you live there?" I should be up, you know, just a bit north.
Well, you're close to Trestles.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of great things to the south of us.
Yeah, I know. I lived at Doheny for a while when I was a beach attendant.
Look what I found.
What'd you find?
That's the head in there. Wax head. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't want to make you open it up or anything, but
Open it up.
I'm going to open it.
okay,
That's what
good.
it looks like.
Good.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
let me get,
This is great.
yeah.
Do the
So-
side by side.
Billy wanted it for some reason. He was going to do something with it. So Frank said, let me send over the head.
This is a little.
Frank's in my head. Oh, shit. Show the inside.
Wait. I'm trying to get the camera right.
Are you in there?
It looks like I'm in here in parts. Yeah,
I
it's
see
all
the
broken up.
mustache.
Oh,
It's all broken
Billy,
up.
don't be careful now.
I'm just throwing crap out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in here in
I
many
can see
parts.
your mouth and nose there with the mustache.
Yeah. Ooh, that's so eerie.
That's my neck. There's an eyeball.
Is there an eyeball there? Oh,
Did you
geez.
see that?
I
Matthew?
did. Ah.
Oh, shitty hair.
It's about the right hair color.
But it's really dirty.
You
That
didn't
needs
have
to
the
be
big.
restored. Yeah, take that down to Jack Brogan and say, hey, you know, get this thing back into order for me, please.
Yeah.
Now look, my eyes aren't brown, Wendy.
Oh,
They
yeah.
gave you brown eyes.
Yeah. They're jealous.
Ah.
Didn't want to give you blue. Anyway, what a story that Frank had it all restored, and then it just a couple weeks later the earthquake came in the 90s. Was it the Northridge earthquake? And the whole thing fell. But Frank's got the rest of it.
Well, I think there's a project there. That's the neck. That's the neck or something, maybe.
Well, I don't know what the hell it is. If that's my neck, I'm gonna turn it in. Oh God.
Well,
Okay, let's put the head away. It's enough of the head. Yeah.
well,
I've had enough head for the day.
I'm not going to keep you much longer. I just wanted to check in with you
It's
and
been
say
fun.
hi. I want to come obviously in person when you.
Well, why don't you?
Well, I didn't know if you were. A lot of people aren't accepting visitors, you know, because of the COVID and all that. So.
Yeah.
Wendy worries about shit more than I.
I worry
I'm too
about
old.
that.
I only got one thing left to do, and that's die.
Well, I don't.
Yeah,
think
but
that's
not
true.
that way.
What difference does it make? I die.
It's not a pleasant death. You know,
I'd rather die that way than being run over by a fucking truck.
you're welcome anytime. We open our garage on Pacific.
Okay.
Here. We
I'll do
open our
that.
garage on Pacific, and we have picnic chairs. We leave the garage open, and there's a lot of air.
Great.
A lot of assholes.
And we just sit in the garage, and assholes go by.
Yeah,
We sit in
yeah.
the garage, and that way of visiting is doctor approved by our doctor.
Our
So-
doctor's pretty good. Sometimes he comes and sits in.
If you wanted to come by, I can give you a book.
Sure. I love it. I love it.
You're welcome.
You know,
Anytime.
he had a painting book out. Did you see that one? Did we not send you one, or did you not get one?
No.
There's
So
a
this is
there's a painting book which
Is
has
this it?
a really great cover to it. No, this is your watercolors. So anyway, they, you know, after 40 years, Billy finally agreed to allow someone to publish a book. So
I can't wait.
it'll be the only book.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is pretty good, isn't it?
that is great. Wax head.
Broken.
Well, listen, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for talking with
Thanks
us.
for hanging out. Been a good way
Okay.
to spend the morning.
Yeah.
Later.
Okay,
Bye,
Matthew.
guys.
Take care of yourself, huh?
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.